This is a brief introduction to Total Life Changes, a company that provides products and community that you'll feel. The year was 1994, and Jack Fallon had a vision to help the world. So in 1999, with the help of his best friend John Licari, Total Life Changes was born. So how did it get started? With one product that Jack really believed in, NutriBurst, a multi-liquid vitamin packed with all that in a bag of chips. Well, not the chips, but you get the idea. Fast forward to 2003, and Total Life Changes becomes incorporated. We got busy, real busy. We established TLC World Headquarters in Fairhaven, Michigan. Now we offer 38 products, taking thousands of orders daily.
Thank you for calling Total Life Changes.
And shipping to more than 150 countries across the globe. It doesn't matter what lifestyle you have or diet you're on. TLC's products and community is for everyone. And now you know a little, actually a lot, about Total Life Changes.
Man, I don't want to wake up.
Psych, I'm just kidding. Time to get to this grind.
I've been working for 3 weeks straight and I haven't even slept yet.
Let's go, Sunday Hustle, ready to push.
Welcome to the Sunday Hustle. Here we go.
Here we go. Great morning, great afternoon, or great evening to everyone out there watching, wherever part of the world that you're watching the Sunday Hustle. Today is December 13th, and you woke up today, so it is your day, and I hope each and every one of you are having a super fantastic start of your day, if it is the morning for you. Today is going to be great. I have an incredible guest. He wore his suit jacket and his glasses because he looks freaking great over there.
Thank you, sir.
Scott, how you feeling
Happy
today?
Sunday, everyone. Amazing.
That's right.
Super fantastic.
Happy
Fired up. Ready to rock and roll.
Let's get it. All right, drop a couple comments where you're viewing from. I see that Arnel Sosa is viewing from the Dominican Republic. Grand morning. Thanks for tuning in. I see Keisha Mitchell. She's always out there watching. She says, "What's up, Scott?"
Hey, what's up, Keisha?
Here we go, Sunday Hustle. Petaming Smith says, "Hi, Evan. I love your program. I love you, Petaming." Mario Rodriguez says, "Hey, what's up?"
This is the man they call Mario.
Marlisa Lindsay says, "Get excited." You know, Marlisa's literally on like every single broadcast that we host.
She's our number one fan.
She is. Jessica Magalina says she's out there watching. Natalie Renee hitting crossover markets. Evan, let's go. All right, great morning, everyone. Keep on dropping where you're viewing from because it is a great day, and we're going to hear some great, amazing tips on this episode. So just to highlight some winners from last week, the challenge was to tag that person that is always there for you. So we have 5 winners. They're going to win a Sunday Hustle shirt and a NutriBurst, and they are Rachel Sharon, Laliwa Finley, Beverly Pedro, Felicia Newton, Nadia Oscar, Joy Jalia, Mia Earl, Lisa Davis, Gwendolyn Watson, and Myra Brandt.
Looks like somebody doubled down. That's not 5, Evan.
Oh, I know. It looks like it's 10.
We doubled down. Good job.
There you go. Inspired by the one and only Mr. Scott Bania, double down on everything. All right, the fan of the week this week is Natasha Warburton. She is a mom, and she loves being part of TLC. She's always giving positive feedback. And again, she's another one of our consistent viewers. So thank you, Natasha, for viewing the Sunday Hustle, and thank you for just being a part of the Good News Network, watching Live with Jack and John, Roses on Fire, Mr. Scott Bania's Tea Talk and Tips from the Field, whatever other episode that you might be watching. Thanks so much for your dedication, and keep on sharing this good news and this great positivity that we have to offer here in this community that we call Total Life Changes. All righty, Scott, you ready?
Of course.
All right, we have our Chief Communications Officer here from Total Life Changes. Incredible man with an incredible story, has a beautiful family. There's so many great adjectives and other words that I could use to describe him, but I think it is
Keep it clean, Evan.
I think it's an honor to have you. Thanks for coming onto the set. I know you've been out traveling for the company recently, doing some great things behind the scenes that everyone will see in 2021, and I know you're excited about that. But enough about that. We want to hear your story. We want to hear a little bit about you. So welcome to the floor, Mr. Scott Bania.
All right, thanks, Evan.
Thank you, Scott.
Pleasure to be on the Hustle. Very proud of you and the program and the direction that it's taking on.
Thank you.
So happy to be here. I actually, as embarrassing as this is, I actually had to kind of I had to do a little bit of research for this show because I
Okay.
knew you were going to ask me, like, all right, when did you officially start with Total Life Changes? And so Jack and I have known each other for such a long time. Our wives became friends years and years ago working at a salon. And so, like, there was this hectic time and transition. We both started families around the same time. So I've always been around the business. I knew, I've known their family for such a long time, but I had to actually like do some research and figure out when did I actually like start with the company and Total Life Changes. So I was pursuing a career in education. I did for almost 20 years in Detroit Public Schools, and I also, I served Marygrove College as an adjunct professor for about 5 years. So, and it was raising kids, so it was really busy. So actually, I had to go back and like try to figure this out. But it was right around the time when we were relaunching the company's website. So it was about 2012, and the only graphic designer, senior graphic designer, incredible, talented young man out of West Hollywood, Mark Armentano, was really like the marketing department.
Right.
So I was introduced to him, and Jack also asked me to go ahead and, if I would be interested in going through the entire website, every landing page, proofreading it, give him some feedback, see what I thought, and see where we could improve. So of course I agreed to do that. So that was like 2012 when that's when I was known as Scott the Writer.
Yes, sir.
So just the few people that were around the office, Rosa Gonzalez, Natalie, and Lucy, and some others, they had never seen me for quite a while because I was, working full time and, raising young kids. So I didn't have a lot of extra time to come into to the office or to the basement.
Right.
So it was kind of funny. Like they had me on their phone, Scott the Writer. So I was kind of this.
Not Scott Bania, Scott the Writer.
Scott the Writer.
Well, thanks for that. So 2012, you officially started with TLC, more of like a subcontractor type of thing. And then you joined, when did you officially join on the staff as, I think you started as Chief Marketing Officer, and then you kind of transitioned into Chief Communications?
I should have done a little more research to give you those dates and those numbers. I believe you're talking about like 2014 and 2015 is when I was able to dedicate much more time and kind of became full-time and transitioning out of my other career,
Right.
Which I was able to do in 2016. I resigned and have been here, full-time since the grand opening, as a matter of fact.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You had an incredible story, and I think the concept of the show, the Sunday hustle, getting out there, doing what it takes in order to have your family become successful, or become successful in your personal life, monetary, physically, mentally, spiritually. So why don't you take us back a couple of years and start us from the beginning, Scott Jr. Like when you were 12, 13, 14. Tell us, start from there, and then we'll work our way up.
All right, great. So typical kind of middle class family. My father was a police officer in the city of Detroit. My mom, she worked at a bakery for a number of years. She was a secretary for a number of years. And then for a long time, she worked at a local electronics repair shop, Gibson's. Shout out to Gibson's TV.
Gibsons, are they still around?
So, I think they are still around.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
So it's kind of similar, like John Licari's story, where like we never went out to dinner. We didn't travel much. It was always, they were always being told like we just didn't have money, we couldn't afford those things, stuff like that. So I basically learned at a very young age, like, if I, for the things that I liked that my friends may have had, like my parents weren't going to buy me those things. And the only way to get them was to find a way to earn money to do that. So, shoveling snow in the winter, cutting grass in the summer was a constant. But, as soon as I could get a paper route, a bunch of friends of mine, we had paper routes for a long time. And then as soon as I could work, I started working at my first real job was at Pola's Market on Kelly Road. And started, stocking dairy, and then, then I worked my way up to produce, doing produce. Multiple jobs. I worked at a Palmer Plastics place and all kinds of stuff. So that I could earn, additional money to get the things that I kind of needed or wanted, right? I gave you a quick example. So 7th grade basketball season, this is like 1986, I want to say. So like the new Jordans are out, the Ewings are out. All my buddies are getting these really sweet branded shoes that, and I'm at the mall with my mom, and, she had a budget that was like $30. So we literally went to every store, and even back then, obviously, you couldn't get like Air Jordans or Ewings or whatever for $30.
Right.
So, I'm at like Tom McCann and, all these. So finally I got so frustrated with my mom, I left, I walked home. I just left. She came home with Pro Sprints. And like I was almost in tears because, your friends all have these branded shoes, like you just kind of want to fit in, right? And you got to be the little knucklehead that is just like learning this life lesson, like I got to wear these Buster shoes, right? Yeah. So anyway, I fought it. I went back to the store, and my dad got me these other shoes. Those turned out to be even worse. I should have kept the ones my mom bought, to be quite honest. So yeah, I've always found a way to earn additional money. I've always had kind of a side hustle. Even, all of you that are in education, many people in education always had a second gig, a side job.
Right.
So I've had, one of the companies I had was power washing, Pressure Point. And so like I would power wash exterior homes, fences, decks, and I would stain them. And I always missed like the sweet spot because I didn't finish school until like almost June, right? Well, everyone's kind of getting their stuff ready in the spring, right? So I'd miss like 80% of the business, but I'd still be out there trying to find those accounts. I had one employee for a little while. That worked out for a while. So then I was like, all right, well, I want to pursue maybe teaching at the university level.
Yeah.
So I went back, I earned 2 additional degrees. I started working for Marygrove College. I was enjoying that. And I just kept finding out, like, well, even to teach full-time online, you were really required to earn a doctorate degree. And I was just kind of burnt out, man. My third degree I earned. My youngest daughter was just born. I was trying to finish up all that master's coursework. So after 5 years of teaching online adjunct, I finally got out of the classroom. I was doing some things for Detroit that was non-instructional, so it allowed me some time to really take a stronger look at what Jack was building with Total Life Changes. And so the rest is almost kind of history. There was a period of about 4 years, 3-4 years there, trying to work with someone in West Hollywood. East Coast, West Coast thing was a lot of late nights. And when he was trying to plan and connect with me, I was kind of teaching full time. So it was really, really difficult to maintain that. But we grew out of it.
Right.
And once we got here, we were able to, start acquiring more talent and continue to build this thing. And now we've got, we've overgrown the department and we're building new space. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. Your department's now what, 15 people?
Just under
15 people. I remember when it was you and a couple other employees, and it was just like not just knocking it out and grinding. And it's kind of just surreal to really see the company grow, right? And then see that your department grow and grow under you. It's just really cool to recognize all that. So congratulations on that. But I want to bring it back to when you were working with Detroit Public Schools, and you really had the opportunity to be in the classroom. And really kind of tie in what you went through and what what we experienced, and bring it back to like the kid level. So as a child, you realize, if you wanted something, you had to hustle for it, right? You had to get your paper route. You had to go shovel snow. You had to cut lawns, power washing as a side gig, whatever the case may be. And then being immersed in that, in that environment of seeing kids hand in hand, some that might come from struggling families, some that might come from, financial, successful families, but they still had the same concept of your parents. Well, if you want something, you got to go get out there and get it. So I think that's what a lot of, I want to say a lot of parents struggle with, but it's, a big concern, right? Well, my kid wants it, and I just want to make my kid happy, and I'm going to go out and purchase it for them. So kind of talk to us about what, going through that process, what that taught you, and how important it is for someone to, appreciate, money, appreciate purchasing their own things, and appreciate, growing and going through that process?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so now that my son is, 17 and my daughter is going to turn 15 and my youngest she just turned 13. So I've kind of lived through this and then working with, students up in 12 and 13. We've been able to try to, provide that encouragement, that insight to Benjamin. I'll use him as an example. We wanted him to understand the value of money, right? So, you create savings accounts and things like that. But it wasn't until his mother, my wife Kelly, came up with a really unique idea, because around the time he turned almost 15, right, they all want to get their permits and start driver's training.
Yep.
And so Kelly said, listen, you cannot start that until you have a job for at least 6 months. So he started bussing tables. And what was so interesting about that is, so he started bussing tables at a local restaurant. And like every other week, there would be people that left and then new people that came on that he kind of knew. So like the turnover rate of these kids that were bussing tables must have been like 70, 80%. And I was so proud of him because he stayed there for well over a year while all of his friends and stuff, like many of his friends that he knew and others that came in would just constantly, they'd work there for a week or two and like, that's it. So he did the 6 months. We allowed him to obviously work on getting his permit. Then he found another opportunity and took that. Actually, he met Lil Joe at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club, bussing tables there.
And there you go.
And then, when that shut down, he actually started coming here, right, and working in the warehouse for quite some time. And same with Kate. So Kate found an opportunity when she was about 12 to go and work for someone locally. And then now she's of age, so she's working at 2 different places. So it's so unique because when they start earning their own money and saving their own money and they're getting bank statements, stuff becomes real.
Right.
And when you force them to pay for things, stuff becomes real. So when they have to pay for, oil changes, you want to drive the vehicle, that's great. I'll help you with the payments, but you know what? You're going to have to get that oil change. You're going to have to maintain some maintenance on that vehicle. You're going to have to help pay for insurance. So we try to help them understand that they've got to do it on their own. You've got to find whatever that niche is. You're gonna have to do things that you really don't like or not comfortable with. It's not fun bussing tables, or it may not be fun for a lot of people.
Right.
If there's not a lot of patrons in the restaurant, it's boring. When there's too many, then you're just busy. I mean, there's just a lot of things, right? Washing dishes, whatever it is. But I guess what I want to consider on this conversation, like right now, is given the times, especially during this year, but even prior to this year, these phones and the electronics and things like, when we were growing up, there was very few things to entertain us inside of our house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like board games, some simple things like that, 3 channels or 4 channels on the TV. So like we're constantly out and about, out doing things, interacting differently. So I say that because my wife and I we're still trying to figure out like how to interact and how to manage our kids, because they're like literally addicted to these devices, or like they live a completely different type of life socially, the way they interact. And I think that transitions into like unplugging from it and going out and trying new things, or actually going to get a job or do a job. So I'm thankful that we've at least encouraged him to work, and he has worked for quite some time, and Kate's doing that. But I am worried, like, for the generation of children and parents on how to find a comfortable balance between face-to-face personal interaction, whether it's at work or not at work, and what these devices are allowing our kids to be distracted by, I guess.
Right.
Like if you don't monitor what's happening closely, they'll sit there with those phones for forever, right? And it's just a huge waste of time. And based on some of the things I've been listening to, in the past 3-4 months, it's all about what you're putting into your head on a daily basis.
Right.
That's really going to help develop the type of person you want to become. And I'm just afraid that we're not doing a good enough job, me personally, or as a society, of making sure and crafting what they are intaking on a daily basis, which is going to spark the enthusiasm or curiosity or want to get them out and pursue different things and work and earn. So I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit and get your take on it.
Yeah, I really, it was actually, it's funny that I was like trying to see where I was going to go with the conversation next. And I think that's so important, right? And I know you personally, within the past year, have really made a lot of life decisions to really change on what you're intaking, because you realized how much it affects your brain, right? Everything that you intake is really how your life is going to be. And so with technology and with, just the nature of the game, and unfortunately everything that we're living in, it sometimes can be hard as a kid going through, life and going through those changes to accept that, right? To, hear different things. You want to watch TikTok all day long, but TikTok's filled with negative energy, right? And it's so important that if you don't control your energy, then, the future, it could, lead you to different things or make you see life in a different way, and maybe not the most positive way. So talk to us a little bit about like how important it is to make sure that you're providing good things into your mind, that you're feeding yourself with positive energy, and taking those 30 minutes in the morning to kind of unplug, self-meditate, self-care, self-love. Like, I think that's so important, but yet it's so overlooked in the exact same statement. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I guess I would say for anyone that has not tried to establish that routine of providing 30 to 60 minutes each morning to yourself, kind of progressing through just some quiet time, some prayer, some meditation, affirmations, reading, journaling. You don't know what it's like when you miss a day or you kind of fast forward through it. And so I've kind of come to realize that now. This starts back to when we were really promoting the Moses Code.
Mm-hmm.
So about a year ago, Jack introduced all of us, or many of us here, to the Moses Code, the book. We started a relationship with James Twyman. That led to just pursuing some other books, physical books, audio books. I guess for me, it was to make sure that I am able to elevate myself and then obviously elevate the team that we're building here. But for many years, I that was not part of my routine. I was not one to wake up and intentionally spend 10, 15 minutes in silence and in prayer and then in meditation. So again, you don't know kind of what you're missing out on, or you don't know the impact that it has to your day as a whole. So obviously I strongly encourage that.
Yeah.
And one of the things I mentioned several months ago, I think back in November, one of our consultants sent me The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And so I read that. I also got the audio tape. And so again, I haven't done this Miracle Morning every single day, because you have to track your progress, and there's some paperwork that goes along with it that you can like check off everything that you've completed. But I have done it. I've had 48 Miracle Mornings.
Wow.
And basically what that means is you are spending time, the acronym is SAVERS.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in silence for 10 minutes. Could be prayer, could be silence. You can add some meditation, do your affirmations, visualization. We talked about vision boards and just like visualizing the course of your day or whatever, your goals. The E is exercise, the R is reading, and the S is scribing or writing. So you try to do that for 10 minutes every morning, total of 60 minutes. And it makes just a tremendous difference in how you feel the entire day, how you attack the day. You just feel really prepared. And more than that, I've never taken the time, like I said, to do that. And then you just, when you're in silence or when you are spending a dedicated amount of time thinking, you think about some interesting things or history and the history of your life and particular events in your life. It's been unique, like unlocking a lot of different things that I haven't considered or thought about in a long time. But ultimately, it's just like sets you up for success. And I do much more than 10 minutes of reading. I listen, to audiobooks. It takes me about a half hour to get to work. So I'll do 3-mile walks and jogs, listen then on the way to work. So maybe about an hour and a half a day, 90 minutes. So I've ripped through a lot of different books. It's been a lot of fun. And I've been able to speak more confidently to like our younger staff members and encouraging them to do it and kind of talking about the things that I'm reading. So it just adds value to me in my life. It adds value to the employees that we're building here, and then it just adds value to the company. And then talking about it on these platforms, hopefully it's adding some value to those of you that are listening right now. Get plugged in.
Yes.
The Infinite Game is a great book by Simon Sinek. For those of you that are entrepreneurs, get plugged into that. The Infinite Game is incredible. That's a great read. I mentioned the Miracle Morning. That's by Hal Elrod. It's a short book, but there's work you do on a daily basis for that as well. And I've been listening. See You at the Top, Zig Ziglar. I've got a couple series on Jim Rohn. Been pouring through those. I got a lot more work to do. Zig says you got to listen to it 16 times until you're able to teach it and actually learn it all and be able to teach it. So I think I'm about 4 times through, so I got more work cut out for me.
12 more.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's incredible. Thanks for giving us Moses Code, Miracle Morning, Infinite Game, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar, and kind of like touching on that last statement that you said, the reticular activating system, right? It takes us 16 times to see something before we actually see it.
We talked about that novel too recently, The 12 Pillars.
Yeah.
I came across a CD. It was in Tricia Crawford's cabinet. Chris Widener we've used as a speaker. He created a novel with Jim Rohn. It's called The 12 Pillars. It's a very easy read, but very powerful. Easy to remember life lessons.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And reticular activating system, right? It takes you 16 times to understand it and teach it and all that, but kind of following through with that, like being able to teach that and express that onto your peers, your children, your co-workers, or those that look up to you, right? Those on these types of platforms. And I think that's so important to take away as a message from Mr. Scott Bania as, you got to be able to fill yourself so that you can fill other people, right? Everyone says focus on yourself, but when you realize after you do focus on yourself, you're able to take everything that you've learned, everything that you've grown into your body, and translate it onto other people, inspire others to become greater versions of themselves, or inspire others to be a little more happier, or inspire them to maybe think in a little different way and they see a different perspective, and at the end of the day, they really change their life. So I think that's, such a key takeaway that, we took away from this interview is fill yourself with positivity, get out there and hustle and do it for yourself first before you can do it for others. And, I think that's so important. So I'm going to kind of close it out with one more question. And it's going to be a little personal question, but I won't go too personal for you, Scott. I know you're a very private guy, but you talked a lot about Kelly, Ben, Emily, and Kate. And why don't you just take these next 2 minutes, give them a thank you, or any other words that you want to say to them and express that to your beautiful family that you have.
Cool. I love that. Absolutely. So I will begin with Kelly, obviously my wife, and she's just an incredible mother, incredible wife, just very authentic, and demands a lot out of our children. It's been an incredible journey so far, raising these beautiful kids. Very proud of all three of them. My son is graduating this year. Even under these circumstances, he continues to grind. He's working full time. His grade point average continues to improve, even though everything is online. And he's been, he's very consistent. He's hitting the gym. So I just think like he's becoming a very well-rounded, young man with morals and strong character. I think a lot of that comes from my wife, and hopefully some of it comes from me as well.
Absolutely.
My daughter Kate is a freshman, so a really unique situation for all young girls and boys that are starting their freshman year, where they can't, even attend school for one day. But she continues to be very self-sufficient. She's very disciplined, very intelligent, but at the same time, she just has a zest for life. She enjoys life, and she's just a sweetheart. She helps run the house. She loves to cook. I think like stereotypical. She's really a great friend. She's a great friend to her friends. She enjoys her relationships with her friends. She's just a great soul. And little Emily, our little fireball, she has been and continues to be just a ball of energy, fun, joyful. She's kind of the comic, she's always finding ways to have fun, and she's been able to go to school, face to face at a small Catholic school, so she's enjoyed that. They did do a week out of, away from face to face, and she handled that really well. She's very dedicated to gymnastics. The joke is she will not do anything else other than gymnastics. We've tried her as a young child. She tried like soccer here and there, but she refuses to like do anything else. She's kind of addicted to that sport, very dedicated to it. And she's just, she has like, I guess like the spirit of the family, it's like her smile can just really change your attitude or course of actions, even if you're trying to discipline her. She's great. And it's a beautiful family. I'm so grateful for them. And, that's one of the things when I'm in silence and thinking like, you tend to go back, I think as a parent, and I'm trying like hell to remember like all these different life events when they were little, right? Because I feel like they're escaping my memory, and I don't want to let those memories go. So when I'm in silence and praying that I can remember some of these, things that we did as when they were much younger, because now like I blink and like, Ben's going to graduate. Like, right. So it happens really fast, like this transition. So please pray for me that I can continue to try to remember like all the really great experiences we had when they were young. But I tell you what, I'm very mindful now of like retracing the day, right? Like in personal development and Jim Rohn, the importance of writing things down so you can go back over your notes and kind of relive some of those things. And I wish I had listened to that years and years ago, because I really feel like there's nowhere, to me to go back to, right, and kind of like refresh my memory to relive some of those great moments. So,
well, memories are the only thing that we take as we leave this life. So I think that's so important to, constantly remind ourselves of those great times that we had. And again, speaking on behalf of Scott and his family, great people, beautiful family, Kelly, Ben, Emily, and Kate, everything that you said about them, 100% right. Ben with his character, Emily with her infectious smile, and Kate just always being there. Like I remember, like I was just like talking to her sometimes, like, just one-on-one, and it's just like, she's just that person. Like she's always that one that you just reach out to. So, yeah. And yes, of course, that does 110% come from you and Kelly with your leadership, your parenting and your guidance. So congratulations.
Thanks,
on
Evan.
that. Absolutely. Thank you again. And let's give it up one more time for Mr. Scott Bania, Chief Communications Officer here at Total Life Changes. Scott, it was such an absolute pleasure and honor to hear your story and have you come on and give us some inspiration and some words of advice. So keep on doing you, keep on being great, and keep on inspiring others to be great as well.
I love it. Thank you, Evan. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
And thanks to everyone that tuned in. Have a blessed Sunday. TLC Sunday Fun Day.
Yes,
Just a reminder,
sir.
go to TLCHQ Community, post a pic in the comments for a chance to win $250 and a 10-pack of tea.
Yes, sir. Get it. All right, we got two more things before we're going to close out this show, and that is the feel-good story of the week. And this says, a professor gave a balloon to every student. Kind of cool. Scott was a professor at one point of his life. A professor gave a balloon to every student who had to inflate it, write their name on it, and throw it in the hallway. Then the professor then mixed all the balloons. The students were given 5 minutes to find their own balloon. Despite a hectic search, no one found their balloon. At that point, the professor told the students to take the first balloon that they found and hand it to the person whose name was written on it. Within 5 minutes, everyone had their own balloon. The professor said to the students, "These balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own. But if we care about other people's happiness, we'll find ours too."
I'll tell you what.
Wow.
I want to know what school this happened at. Because when I see that hallway filled with balloons, I know what you're thinking, like your high school, my high school. There's not a chance anyone would find their name on a balloon. I could just see like all the kids popping these balloons like crazy.
Just jumping in there, landing on the floor.
But what a cool concept.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? And I think it really just ties in. Like if you have to, help others, right? And that's how you're going to find your happiness. Incredible. I mean, I don't know if it took everyone 5 minutes to, get their own balloon. Those are it's a lot of freaking balloons in that picture. But
yeah.
Incredible concept. Really cool. We should probably do that here.
I love it.
Trisha, are you watching? All right, it's time for the tip. If you have a feel-good story of the week, submit it over to the Sunday Hustle at TotalLifeChanges.com. Tip of the week is look for character. As you build your team, look for character and values. You will always train someone on skills, but you can't make someone's values fit into your company/team. And I really think that's a cool concept because that's kind of what we focused this past year with the hiring process here at TLC. You can have all the skill set. Your resume can be 8 miles long, but if your character's not there, then you're probably not a right fit for the company. And I really think that's what all the department heads and anyone that's conducting human resources, the hiring process, it's character, skill set, passion, attitude. It's all into one. It's not just skill set. And I think that's really important and a great tip. So keep on looking for character in your life, character in others' lives, so that you can, just build an all-around great well-being. The challenge of the week is to simply tag one person that represents the TLC core values. There's 7 of them. It should not be too hard for you. We're going to select 5 winners, and each of you are going to get 100 TLC points.
Very nice.
There we go. The script is closed. The page is down. I just want to give a few shout outs to everyone watching. Thanks for, everyone that stayed consistent today. Everyone's dropping comments. Scott, such a great story. Scott, thanks for pouring out into us. Wow, Evan, you've grown so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Amazing show. Scott, amazing interview. So
thank you.
Congratulations to everyone. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. And again, thank you, Mr. Scott Bania, for taking the few minutes out of your day to come on and just share, pour into us. Yeah. Real quick, just a couple books that Scott highlighted: The Moses Code, Miracle Morning, The Infinite Game, See You at the Top, 12 Pillars of Success. All are available. A couple are actually available in our back office, but all are available on Amazon. Get a book, purchase it, and really focus on yourself, pour it into yourself so that you can pour it into others and really inspire them to just simply be great.
Yeah, most importantly, if you have not had an opportunity to purchase Believe in More,
yes, sir.
Definitely want to drop that one in there. That is Jack's brand new autobiography written by Tyler Ross. So that's a great read. It's kind of an actionable book. You can read each of those chapters several times, get some takeaways, write down your own notes and things like that. We're going to come out with an action guide for that as well. So that's in the making, but a very affordable but very powerful book. BelieveInMore.com.
BelieveInMore.com. You heard it from the man himself, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. Like I said at the beginning, and like I will always say, it's such an honor to be up here in front of all of you, to be on this platform, to be a part of the Good News Network, and really just sharing positivity and high energy across the world. So this closes out December 13th episode of the Sunday Hustle. I want each and every one of you to have a super fantastic day. Get out there, make today your day, and please don't ever, ever, ever wait for tomorrow. See each and every one of you at 2 p.m. exactly on this channel for Live with Jack and John in 12 Days of Christmas. See you guys soon.
Check out my melody.